Hey guys, it's Nicole coming to you from Osaka and welcome back to another video. If you have suddenly been hit with a huge bill for pension, then this is the video for you. So either last week or a couple weeks ago, I received some bills in the mail about pension and I was really shocked to see how much I was getting billed for. So the first bill, mind you, these are apparently like 2 or 3 years of back pay. So I'm not going to show you because my address is on them, but they're here. So the first one is for a whopping 163,400 yen, and the second one for 180,440 yen, for a grand total of, so the first one is supposed to be due in July and the second one May. So one for this year and one for next year. Yeah, so basically the things that everybody in Japan has to pay are health insurance, residence tax, and pension. So what is pension, you may be wondering? Well, pension, or nenkin in Japanese, is money that goes to the elderly, the disabled, or in some cases to the spouses or children of somebody who is deceased that was paying into the pension system. So it's basically like Social Security in the US, and everybody has the same monthly deduction. I think in the US, depends on your salary how much. Never mind, I'm not gonna go into that because I forgot. And this is about Japan. Anyway, so everybody has to pay the same amount per month into the pension system. So the monthly deduction, which like increases every so often, for this current fiscal year, the monthly deduction is 16,540 yen. So it's not based on your salary, everybody's paying this. And if you're a foreigner working in Japan, then you also have to pay into this pension system. But if you do eventually leave Japan, you can get the money back. I have this handy dandy sheet that they gave me at City Hall. So I'll insert a picture of it so you can see, like, if you pay for at least 6 months, then you're eligible to get this money returned to you when you leave Japan. And of course, I'm still in Japan, so I haven't experienced like getting this money back. So I will link a couple helpful videos below, and also the pension website if you are in this situation where you'll be leaving Japan soon and you've paid pension and you want to know how to get it back. So look down below for that. And also, if you're going to be in Japan long term and you retire here, then of course you can get pension if there's anything left of it by the time you retire. Of course you can get pension because you've been paying into this system, so you can get it back when you retire. For students, I'm pretty sure that you're fully exempt. At least like on this sheet that I have, it says that the student exemption is like full. They pay 0 yen. But of course I've only ever had a working visa, and now I have a spouse visa, so somebody on a working visa, you have to pay the regular amount for pension. Like students, I know that they pay way less for health insurance. And I asked a friend, Chris, who's on a student visa right now, and he said that he doesn't know about tax yet and he didn't sign up for pension, but he's gonna go to City Hall to take care of it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think students have to pay the full amount for pension though. So yeah, if you're a student, yay, lucky you. Okay, so something extremely important to note is that if you are not working for a company that has signed you up for their insurance and pension plan, and if you don't sign up for pension on your own, you're not going to get billed, which I guess that sounds nice and all, but then you could end up in the situation like me where you're suddenly owing money for like back pay for a very large amount. So residence tax and health insurance, they'll be sent to you automatically every May or June, I think. They do all the calculations in like March and April, and then they send the bills to you automatically. So that's not really something you have to think too much about. And like, yeah, of course it sounds good that you don't get a bill for pension, but then what happened to me was the company that I work for now, in January, when I became, I'm not full-time, but I like 30 hours a week is considered full-time also for them, so they put me on their plan automatically for health insurance and pension. So once the company signed me up for it, then I got on the radar of the pension system. So yeah, I've had friends who have experienced this kind of thing too, like suddenly, like you've been on the national health insurance and stuff, and then suddenly like your company signs you up for it without, either with or without your knowledge, for a pension, and then you have to pay all this. So yeah, it happens a lot. One of the worst stories that I've heard is from a friend of a friend, and he was ignoring his pension bills, and then suddenly like the government took his entire salary from his bank account. So I don't know, the salary like 280,000 yen or something. I don't know what his salary was. This is just a guess based on that school. But yeah, his entire paycheck was taken without his permission from his bank account, from the government. So yeah, they can do that. Watch out. I guess if you've never received a pension bill, you could go on just living your life normally, but it is a bit risky just because you could end up owing all that money later. So the two bills that I have, you know, this huge amount, this is based on the 3 years that I've been working here and haven't paid. And I would also just like to let you guys know, I was not actively avoiding pension, because yeah, it's something that everybody has to pay. Japanese people pay it, foreign people pay it. Anybody who's like working in Japan pays into this system. But of course, since they never actually sent me the bills, it's not something I ever really thought about. Like it was kind of a far off, distant thought in my mind. And you know, like if you ever have extra money, then who's gonna be like, well, I've got $2,000 saved, what can I do with it? Oh, I know, let me give it to the government, like that would be so cool. No, I'm gonna spend that money on BTS CDs probably. Duh. But yeah, so anyway, back to the meat of the story. So if you've got this big pension bill and you either don't have the money for it, or maybe you do have the money for it, but it's like all, if not a big portion of your savings, then what can you do? So as soon as possible, you should go to your city hall or ward office and let them know what's up. This is like, it won't come as a surprise to them. They see this kind of thing all the time with residence tax and health insurance, especially because those two things are based on your income from the previous year. So a lot of people find themselves in a situation where like this current year, they're making less money than they did before, but their bills are based on that previous salary, and some people may not have the money for it. Although pension is a consistent monthly payment and it's not based on your salary. So yeah, but okay, anyway, so I went to my city hall to ask if they could split the payments. So what I wanted to do, rather than paying it all like in this big lump sum, I just wanted to pay it out monthly. Like they did this to me with my residence tax last year. So instead of paying like 40,000 yen at a time, I was paying monthly like 20,000 yen. So yeah, I wanted them to do the same thing for pension, so that like I'll pay the same amount overall. Like I'll give them all the money that I owe them, but I'll just do it gradually instead of being broke for a while. But the lady who was helping me, she must have been in a really great mood that day, because she recommended that I apply for an exemption. So people can get fully or partially exempt in some circumstances if you have difficulty paying. So let me insert the image of like from the handout that they gave me to show what kind of exemptions that they offer. And on this sheet it says that students owe 0 yen, which is why I said before that I don't think students owe pension. So I filled out this application, and she said it takes 2 or 3 months for them to review it. And she said to keep the bills that they gave me just for reference, but don't pay them because they're processing this application for exemption. So I don't know if I'm gonna get exempt for anything. We'll see what happens in 2 to 3 months. And something else to note was that she told me to write the date that I got married on the application too. So I don't know if being married or not makes a difference for pension. Yeah, we'll see. Something else to note, maybe a little humble brag for a second, is that whenever I go to City Hall, I always speak Japanese. I don't think they have any English speakers, at least like the one in my town. And I've never asked though. I feel like they do have a little bit more sympathy for you when you're doing your best to speak Japanese and do all of your like important paperwork and stuff in Japanese, because just shows you're doing your best to acclimate to the culture and stuff here. So the moral of every story is study your Japanese, kids. Yeah. Either way, I hope they can at least like split up the payments. So yeah, wow, this video is a lot shorter than I thought. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If you're like me and you suddenly have this big bill, then don't freak out too much. Just go to City Hall and talk to them about it. City Hall, the ward office, whatever you live in. I would advise you to not ignore the bills. Like if you miss the payment, they'll send you another bill. Because I don't know, maybe you lost it or something. So they'll send you another bill. But like if you ignore it again and again, their letters to you are going to become more threatening, and they might say that they're going to revoke your like residence status or something. So don't let it get to that point. Like as soon as you get those bills and you know like I can't pay like all this money up front, then just try to work something out with them as soon as possible. And the same goes for health insurance and residence tax too. Like rather than letting it go and like getting these threats from them, because I don't know, like common sense would say that the longer you let it go, the less sympathy they're gonna have for you. So just get it over with as soon as possible, and hopefully they'll be in a good mood and we'll work out some kind of payment plan for you. So if you live in Japan and you have or haven't paid into the pension system, let me know like what your experience with it has been like. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, thank you for watching.